welcome to another episode, the one show that gives you about an hour, and then we go away. And what is it called? It is called There's a Better Podcast. Hello, my name is Tony, and I'll be the host for this episode. Sweet Valentine's Day 2022. And off to my right,
it's D-Lo,
and off to my left,
Sarah.
And across from us is a bunch of drinks, which we will get to later on. Coming up in this episode, we will talk about all things Valentine's Day, because it is Valentine's Day, the day of love, the day of whatever. And for single people like D-Lo and myself, or at least myself, I don't know what D-Lo's got going on. He doesn't, we don't talk, and that's fine. He's smirking. And Sarah's married, so yeah, that's long gone.
Yeah. I didn't mean to say yeah.
We're talking about apps for those who are sick of Tinder. We're talking about dating horror stories. We're even going to take a Valentine's Day quiz game, and we might throw some other things in there as well if we got time. We'll start off with today's word. It's actually words of the day. And today's words of the day surround themselves around Valentine's Day in a way. The first word we have, a person's female lover.
Inamorata.
And a person's male lover.
Inamorato.
So, Inamorata, Inamorato, doobity-doo, Heidi-ho. I really don't know where we're going with that, but anyway, I thought I'd put those out there. So again, Inamorato.
Inamorato.
Person's male lover. Inamorata.
Inamorata.
A person's female lover. And now we've learned something today.
It's Italian, apparently.
Is it Italian?
Mm-hmm.
Is it? Now, how do you say it? You say Italian. Do you say...
Nobody says
don't
Italian.
Say
I've
that.
heard so many people.
It's a Michigan thing.
Is that a Michigan thing?
I don't know if it's Michigan
Regional?
specifically, but it's definitely regional.
It's got to be regional.
Like a Midwest?
Yeah, it's...
That's like soda and pop?
It's weird because I think a lot of people are just like the three of us, where they get annoyed by it. But I'm also the guy that will say February, because I don't give a crap about that word.
That R. That stupid extra R in there.
It's just awkward to say.
But you don't take that extra step and say Italian.
I will not say Italian.
I'm glad to hear that. I will accept your February by you saying
I accept
Italian.
it and I raise you Italian.
Now, how do you say jewelry?
Raise you a
That's
plaza.
the question.
Ooh.
I'll raise you a plaza.
Oh, God.
How?
How do you say it?
I could just hear
Jewelry?
your nose.
No,
just
plaza.
Plaza?
Plaza.
There you go.
Like Aubrey Plaza.
Oh, Caribbean?
Plaza. That
Do you
drives me
say
nuts.
Caribbean or Caribbean?
I think it kind of depends on the situation. I think I say both, actually.
Okay.
I'd have to think about that.
Like Caribbean Queen, or I'm going to the Caribbean?
You know,
Which sounds more dreamy
I don't
to you.
does sound more
I don't
dreamy.
actually reflect on it too much. I just say it.
So somebody I used to work with was
Feb-
from the Caribbean, and they're like,
February.
"You say it like what?" They were offended.
So
How could
what
you
did
be
they say?
offended?
What did they
Well,
say?
no, actually, we're offended by Italian,
Caribbean.
so.
Because
That's
I
how
say
they said it?
Caribbean.
But
You know,
there are two
see how that
B's in the word
sounds?
Caribbean.
I'm just saying the
Caribbean.
way you say, like,
Yeah.
I didn't know if it was a regional thing. Much like this
believe
Italian.
it's Caribbean. And speaking of Caribbean, we are celebrating today is a better recommendation of the Balvenie single malt whiskey, a Caribbean cask, 14-year whiskey. And this is first, it is brewed and it is stored in traditional oak casks for 14 years and then finished in casks that were previously holding Caribbean rum. And now you and your husband had Caribbean rum too. Is that correct? When you
That
were
is
out in...
correct. We had Caribbean. Yes, when we were in Aruba,
But not Caribbean rum.
the Caribbean.
The Caribbean.
The Caribbean.
The Carabiner rum.
Yes, so we had Caribbean rum. And yeah, we found a rum factory on our first day.
Oh, wow.
We walked
That's
up
a great week right there.
It was a great start to a great trip. Yes, we walked up the beach. We found a rum factory, and of course, there's this beautiful woman that works there, and she, says to my husband, like, "Oh, have you ever been here? Have you tried any of our rum?" And he's like, "Well, no, we just got here today." And she proceeds to pour him like multiple shots of different flavored.
And where you're now, and you're over in the corner, just like, hey, hi, I'm here too.
Oh, it's interesting. I didn't have any shots. She didn't set me up with anything.
Are you serious?
Yeah, I'm
that's
serious.
not cool at all.
So yeah, we ended up buying some bottles.
Did he end up sharing it with you though? Like a good husband
come
would
on.
on your What was it? Is your anniversary, you said?
Yeah, it was 10 year. Yep.
10 years.
Yeah,
Congratulations.
I know. Thanks. It was
So-
a long time ago.
It was a long, no, yeah, well, 10 years
Oh,
ago.
it was almost another 10 years ago.
Oh my gosh.
I know, it's crazy.
So the Balvenie, it is a, let's see, it's supposed to be rich, soft, and creamy toffee with fresh fruit notes. And then that's the nose, so you're supposed to smell that. Taste rounded with vanilla, sweet oak, and fruitiness with a warm, soft, and lingering finish. So, as they say, languages spoke in the Caribbean or Caribbean, depending on how you pronounce that. English, Spanish, French, and Dutch. I figured we'll go French today. We'll go with à la votre santé.
Oh man, say that
I
again.
think I screwed that up.
À la
À la
votre
votre santé.
Sante.
To your health. Cheers.
Nice. Cheers. No, yeah, that was the cheers.
You know, I'm just going to go ahead and take the rest of this show off and drink here. You guys take over.
I'll try.
Oh my God, that is delicious.
So the difference here that we've done, like I have a couple of cubes of ice, and you guys don't have any.
Ruined it.
We took it neat.
Did I really?
Yeah.
See,
Really?
I could go either way. I like my drinks on the rocks. I do like it.
It depends on
Chilled?
the drink.
Sure.
Well, most of mine I do, as you know. But in this case, this is a good quality
Liqueur.
Doesn't require.
liquid.
Ice.
We'll just call it liquid.
Any additional.
And it is smooth. It's easy. It's a good ride.
But another thing too is about these, like the more water that you introduce to it, the flavor profile changes. Like it opens up different kinds of different flavors or different aromas.
Notes.
Yeah,
And
exactly.
That's what I thought you were supposed to do with a whiskey of any kind. Is just like even like a cube of ice. It just kind
I'll
of.
do a cube from time to
opens it
time,
up.
depending on the
Yeah.
scotch or whatever. Yeah. But my Johnny Walker, I'll drink on rocks all the time.
Okay.
Johnny Walker Red, because it's just basic.
It's just basic. Basically,
Basic.
basically,
It's a
take a
basic.
drink.
I did not throw that in there, so I'm not counting it.
He's gonna drink it anyway.
Well, yeah,
I mean,
oh,
that's
yeah,
gonna
that's
go
what it's
down.
there for.
That doesn't,
That'd be why
twist
it's here.
his arm.
So, celebrating the Valentine's Day, we're going to get drunk. Of course, you're going to spend a good deal of money if you're going on a date tonight. Whether you're married or you're just getting started or whatever, you want to spend a little extra money on some good beverages. I would recommend the Balvenie single malt whiskey. 12 years good, 14 years excellent, 21 year is fantastic. It's expensive as fuck, so I don't recommend doing that right offhand.
That's too much love. Is it
It's
too
a
much
little-
love?
It's. I mean, I guess if you've been married for long enough, then you can get away with it. But if it's your first or second
You look
date,
You look at the checking account first, and then you make some decisions.
Yeah,
Do we
okay,
want
how
the
many-
good meal or do we want the good drink?
and what's my credit card limit? Okay, is my money good here? I have Bitcoin.
You like cross your fingers when you hand over the credit card. It's not gonna. It's gonna go right.
Based on the news story that I caught this past week, it sounds like no matter what you do, you're going to end up spending more for Valentine's Day just because prices of everything is up.
That's true.
That
That
interesting.
that has happened,
Yeah.
and they'll continue to go up just because. Everything's messed. Everything's messed. I don't think
Yeah,
there's really
it's-
one thing that you can point to.
Well, okay.
I mean, okay,
Wasn't
supply
there a South Park
chains.
episode about
Well, okay.
blame Canada or something? I don't know. I'm just kidding. I don't really blame Canada.
Yeah, no, Canada's fine with
No,
us.
Canada's just fine.
Canada's just fine.
Just fine.
You hear us, Trudeau? It's fine. Anyway, so speaking.
Wouldn't have Ryan Reynolds if you didn't have
Hey!
Canada.
Oh my
That's a good
gosh.
point.
You're
Okay,
not
we love
wrong.
Canada now.
Yes,
Yeah.
we love Canada.
But they also gave us Nickelback, so you know.
Pros and cons.
Yeah.
Pros and cons.
You know, you just you just spoiled my heart on.
And depending on who you are, Jim Carrey.
Oh yeah, Jim Carrey.
Michael Bublé.
Is he
Bare Naked
Canadian?
Ladies.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
Bare Naked Ladies, definitely.
Oh,
Yep.
sure.
Canadian.
Anyway,
Alanis,
Oh yeah,
if you like that sort
she's
of thing.
here to remind us of the mess.
nobody will
that was
remember
left.
but Triumph.
Joey,
in
Uncle
Canada.
Joey from Full House.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah. Now I'm just thinking
what
of
the
all
hell's
of her
his
past
name?
lovers.
Right. Yeah. The first question is, are you Canadian?
Are you
Check this
Canadian?
box. Okay.
Right.
Now you can date Alanis
Alanis
Morissette. Were you ever on the show? You can't do that on television.
Oh,
Alistair, we're looking at you.
Moose, where you at, girl? Where are we? Okay, we were dating.
Well, we were trying to get to that. So for those who are not quite into if you haven't found that person, or if you're just looking to get back out there. So if you're sick of Tinder, and honestly, like I was on Tinder and I was on Hinge for about 2 years.
Can I ask a question?
Yeah.
Because you're versed in those two apps. What's
Am
the
I?
difference? Oh, I don't know.
Go ahead.
You can answer it or not. I was just because I don't know any of those things. Like, are they both generally the same concept?
Well, see, the funny thing is that both Tinder and Hinge are owned by the same parent company. So technically, it's the same stuff, but it's just the way it's laid out.
Okay, so
Yeah. So
All right.
Tinder, on the other hand, is more like you just have a free form thing, and you tell a little bit about yourself, and then you put like 9 pictures or something like that, and you're supposed to look like you're having a great time, and everybody loves
Life
you
is
and all that
perfect.
stuff. Exactly.
Then why are you alone? No.
That should be an app. Life is perfect. Why are you alone?
No, it's fine.
And then Hinge, on the other hand, has
You are one pathetic loser.
and then Hinge, on the other hand, is laid out more of like a scroll where you have a picture to start out with, and then you can add like audio to it. You can add little
wow.
video to it if you want. It has some prompts along the way. So you have like 6 pictures, and then you have little prompts too of like, I believe it's time to delete Hinge when, and then you fill it in. Or if we're going on a date, or if we go out, the first thing I order for the table is, and then you fill that in. It's got like a whole bunch of different types of prompts.
Charcuterie board.
A charcuterie
board.
board. Is that how you pronounce that?
Charcuterie.
I always thought it was charcuterie. Like cuticle.
No.
No?
Charcuterie.
Damn it.
Charcuterie?
Italian.
A charcuterie board.
Inamorata.
Oh, well, or that too.
Or that too.
Inamorato.
What the hell? My computer's messed up.
That's all right.
Inamorato.
You know, it doesn't matter.
We'll forgive
Most
it.
people aren't going to listen in stereo anyway.
Yeah, that's a good point. So if it doesn't come into the right
my
channel,
gosh.
that's bad for us.
Sounds like it's missing the right channel.
Inamorato.
Yes. Thank you. Thank you for that.
I don't know what's happening. Did you miss a chord?
Inamorato.
Why don't you guys talk amongst yourself? Because I'm gonna go on tech support.
He's going to go on tech support.
Okay, well, what do you want to talk about?
We're gonna talk about worst dates, I think. And
Worst dates?
So you've been married long enough that you haven't even ever been on a dating app, and myself, I've never done a dating app.
I've never
Tony
been
is
on a
the
dating
only
app.
one that's not a virgin to the dating app.
The dirty app? The dirty app?
yeah.
The dirty dating
Dirty
app.
dating.
Yeah.
Tony, there's the name of it. The dirty dating app.
Inamorato.
Dirty dating app.
Dirty dating
Oh,
app. Like, let's
God.
just be honest. I think it's interesting, like you said, the difference between the two, because the one seems like it's like for someone that's able to give all like those tech pieces, like, oh, I'm going to give a clip, and oh, I want to give more like than just 9 photos still, because the other one's just still photos, right? It's just
Yeah.
Still
photos. And yeah, some of them have video, some of them are just still photos.
okay. So like the more interactive one is like, oh, I'm going to put up a video or a soundbite
Yeah.
or whatever.
It's like, here's me playing with my dog. Okay, cool. You have a dog. That's not a personality, but thank you for letting me know that you're, I guess a dog person is a personality
Yeah, that's part
to
of
an
your
extent.
personality.
Hey, you know what?
Either you like pets or you don't.
It's better
That's
than
true.
I like tacos,
Oh my God.
which I heard is something that is not clever.
Everywhere. I love, touch my butt and feed me taco.
Touch my butt and feed me tacos.
I've heard,
What the
I've
F
read that
does
so many
mean?
times. So if you're,
Hopefully at separate times.
if you-
Nobody-
well,
No woman wants to just
shove
walk up and grab
tacos
a
up my
butt.
butt,
I promise you.
maybe? I don't know.
Nope.
Taco
Nope.
Sutra?
Is tacos? Never mind.
So if you're looking
Something
for
else.
something other than Tinder, why not try The League? What is The League, you ask? It requires new users to apply, even connect their LinkedIn profiles, rather than instantly sign up like everything else. So getting off the wait list can take
Is this
months.
fronted by LinkedIn?
That I don't know. It does not say, unfortunately, but I would not be surprised if it had some sort of business appeal to it for those who are like driven.
Chair.
Is that the word I'm looking for? Driven?
Sure.
But if you're driven,
Ambitious.
if you're driven, then do you have time for a relationship? Do you really have time for a relationship? If you're so driven and you're, an
What is your
ambitious
priority?
person, yeah.
Yeah. What do you have
It's
time
like,
for?
okay, well, maybe we'll do something on the weekends,
Right,
or
right.
every other weekend. But I got 5 kids.
Well, that all the more reason to be on a dating app then.
I
Because it's not like you're going to have the time to go looking, right?
yeah, you're probably right. There's also happened. What? Go ahead.
No, I'm listening.
I heard some exasperation. Yeah.
I agree. Like if you probably don't have time because you're so involved with your work and you need someone outside of your work to connect with.
That's a good point.
That's different than what you see all the time. You can't just dip into that pool and hope it all works out, because sometimes that could be messy. But you also want someone that has outside interests and that isn't just focused on their work too. So
That's a good point. Okay. Well,
moving on.
and that's why you're married, because you can actually see outside of the things, whereas people like
You
me.
know, I said the same thing. She was just more eloquent about it. That's all I'm saying.
She was very
I don't know.
Italian about it.
From the Caribbean.
From the
Caribbean.
And there's also Happen. It's spelled Happn, like the weekend without the extra E. And so its thing says, you thinking about that cute missed connection from your commute or coffee shop down the street? Happen may be just the best way to find them again. So basically, it's a happen chance meeting. So you happen to see them on a map, and you tap them, and it sends a flash note to that person, inviting them to start a chat. It can be. It does sound really
sounds
stalky.
very stalky. I would not dig that at all.
Okay, we're not. Yeah, we don't recommend that one.
Yeah. Well, so no happen.
I mean, it's
No
interesting that it exists, and it's interesting that people are willing to let themselves be stalked.
Visible.
Yeah.
Like you
Yeah.
can find me at any point.
Yeah.
I mean, there's always Twitter and there's always
am also
Instagram.
I mean, first of all, I don't really go onto social media that much anyway, but I'm also the guy that makes sure that other people cannot find me via social media. That whole,
by the way,
location setting
So
and all that.
privacy is
that
important.
It's not even that. It's just like, that's creepy shit.
It is creepy.
I mean, it's
shit.
creepy.
I got a story for
Why?
you later.
You know, I don't. I don't care how close I am to somebody. I mean, I know Tony pretty well. I don't
Sure.
necessarily want him to know where I'm at. If he wants to know where I'm at, he can text me and go, "Dude, where you at?"
you don't.
That makes sense to me.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Never mind.
Him showing up behind you at the store and being like, "Hey, so I wanted to talk to you about da 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 da."
Hey, where are you at? I'm at the store. Yeah, I can tell. I'm right behind you.
I'm in
Right.
the next
Jesus.
aisle.
That's creepy shit.
There's Coffee Meets Bagel. It promises more serious connection by only showing a limited number of profiles or bagels every day at noon. Once users match, they can only chat in the app for 7 days before getting locked out, upping the pressure to make a plan and meet in real life. Or if that doesn't happen, then you go to Happen.
Then you go
just
to
track
Happen.
them
I was
down.
just gonna say, I'm gonna find you.
I'm gonna find you. I saw
Okay.
you. But,
So it creates a sense of like,
Urgency.
be serious.
yeah.
Like, are you serious or are you just
are you just out
effing
here to
around?
play?
Yeah, yeah. Or you just want to show me a picture of you with your dog. I don't know.
There's also
But that's a lot of pressure. You can't say you're gonna find a person in 7 days. Like,
well,
I guess you. But I guess you know.
The thing is that
Either you know.
Yeah, either you. Well, the whole
Is
thing is
that
that you're
right?
supposed
Do
to
you
like
know?
set up a date in 7 days.
Okay.
You know, it's like The Ring. You watch the movie and then you get a phone call and it says 7 days.
The pressure's
It's
on.
life or death.
And she's gonna kill you in the end.
And again,
All right.
stalky.
There's also Hilly, Hilly, or Hey, I like you.
Holy shit.
Yeah, it could be the dating app
Sorry.
of the future, though. It uses machine learning to calculate which of its users could be a perfect match based on profile pictures, interests, and app activity.
Let's just use AI from now on and
Yeah.
just match everybody up. Just forget this whole thing. Just AI. Everybody.
Did you ever watch Black Mirror?
Yeah.
So there was an episode where it was about a dating app and how it was like 98% correct all the time, or it was 97 or something like that. But the one couple that it was like this repetitive thing where I haven't seen the episode in a long time, so
I
I'm
recall it.
probably a little hazy on the
I
details.
recall it. It starts out there strong and then it falls apart every single time, right? Is that it?
I vaguely remember that they realize that they're in an app.
Yeah.
Like it's almost like that they're
But they keep getting
well, they
Come
find a
back
way
to
to get out of the app.
okay.
And it's actually like they climb this giant wall and then they get outside of the app sphere or whatever you want to call it. And then come to find out like there are other iterations of that same couple that are also outside of this sphere. And so either they were trying to get out of it like Tron, or they were trying to, make it work outside of AI. So it's like we're trying to make a legitimate match as opposed to what a computer tells us is a legitimate match. Right. So I I wonder how realistically legitimate an AI service would
I
be
don't know.
for that kind of thing.
Hey, I
Maybe
can't-
it's smaller.
That's not going to happen.
AI, I don't know.
AI, don't know.
I don't know. But, you know.
I like that.
Hey.
Hey, I don't know.
And so it's been out since 2019, and on the App Store, it's 4.4 out of 5 stars. So hey.
Wait, which one?
It's called Hey, I Like You, HILY.
Man, there's a lot of options now.
Oh, it keeps going. And for the LGBTQ plus community, they have an app called Her, HER. And so this one is
Like the performer? No.
or the movie.
No, HER is like capital H period, capital E period, capital R period. That's
No, this is just
that's the
straight up
performer.
HER.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So so this one caters to the LGBTQ plus community, such as like Grindr. And I'm sure you've probably heard of Grindr.
I've heard of Grindr. Again, I don't know like the parameters. I don't quite know, who the audience. If it's everybody.
Yeah.
Like you're saying, is Grindr for everybody, or is it like a certain audience?
I believe Grindr is tailored more toward LGBTQ.
Okay.
I'm not sure. I'm not 100%. I have not checked into that one.
I don't know either. All right.
But this okay. So
Oh,
according
are
to
all
this,
these free?
Grindr focuses mostly on
Yeah.
men.
Are
So,
all these free?
according to this, they are.
Just curious. All the ones
they
you
probably
mentioned.
are. Yeah.
Yeah.
And according to this article that I'm reading here, Grindr is focused mostly on men. Okay, so there's the target
okay.
audience of Grindr. Her is the exception, prioritizing women and gender nonconforming users.
Oh, okay.
And it's 4.3 out of 5 on the iOS App Store. You can probably get it for Android too, if you're a loser. But we love our app from Apple. Just kidding. Android users are fine. We love you too.
Well, there's space for you.
There is space, and
We've
there's
got
also
space
green
for you.
bubbles for your texts.
Oh.
Are you familiar with the green bubble, blue bubble conspiracy?
I only have one friend that's actually on an Android, and it confuses me every single time because she shows me things, and I'm like, I don't get what you're doing. I don't understand this platform I'm looking at. So it's like a foreign
yeah,
concept to me. So there's bubbles, you say?
bubbles.
Bubbles.
Yeah, green and blue bubbles. That's only in the texting world. SMS versus MMS. We're getting too deep and too outside of this, but
Where's my button?
I know which one you're going for.
I know you know which one I'm going. I can't find it in
Go
time.
for
It's
it.
fine.
Okay.
Can't find her.
Yeah, it doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter. And of course, Hinge. We've talked about Hinge. It's it quotes the dating app to be deleted. Features scrolling profiles with more questions and prompts so that users can showcase their personality alongside their pictures. Unlike Tinder, where you just post a bunch of pictures and say, "Touch my butt and feed me tacos." And also, OK is greater than CT. I've seen that before too.
What is
So they're like
explain?
they may be from like Oklahoma, and they say okay, and then they'll put like the greater than, less than sign, like the.
Yeah.
Remember back in math class, and you had the
sure.
little alligator teeth that was opening up to the one that was the
Pac-Man?
larger, or Pac-Man,
Pac-Man.
because it wanted to eat the larger
Right.
thing that was better or
Yes.
greater than.
Right.
So it would be like okay, and then the greater than symbol toward okay, Oklahoma, and then CT. Oklahoma's better than Connecticut, but they live in Connecticut. So they're like, fuck Connecticut. I hate this place. I love Oklahoma. Yet I live here. Okay.
Wow.
Cool. Well, then go back home and maybe find somebody there. I don't know.
Really sends a strong message.
It does. Or I just,
I won't find.
swipe left. Especially again,
Is that
for
how
the
that
people,
works?
you swipe left on those. Yeah.
It's the left that's no, and the right that's.
That's correct. You could,
Okay,
and some of them,
don't know.
some of them also have different icons that you can click on. Like they'll have a heart, they'll have like a green heart or a red heart, or they'll have like thumbs up or a thumbs down or
It's like
whatever.
righty tighty, lefty loosey.
Exactly. And so but there are always new dating apps coming out, and I hear that there's a new one that's just launched, and we have a sneak peek into it.
Ooh.
Are you looking to fill your +1 at the hot ticket restaurant for Valentine's Day? Are you disappointed in swiping and swiping, but not getting your own action? What if you wanted to share that special thing just for one night? New from the makers of E-Whore-Moany comes a dating app specifically designed to share your Valentine's Day and meet that someone who will be lingering in your life forever. Introducing Shared VD. It's so simple. Here's how you do it. Open the app and pull up the person on the profile. You'll see 2 hearts, heart off, and heart on. Like them? Tap heart on. If you give them your heart on, they'll get a throbbing notification in real time. If you respond to their heart on, they'll know you're ready because the heart on turns red. Everyone's getting into sharing their VD. Don't just take my word for it.
My date decided he wanted to share his VD, and now I've got a blistering reminder of our date re-emerging every month. Thanks for changing my life, Share VD.
When I got the app, I didn't think much of it. But after our meetup at the Come and Go, I developed feelings for my date. However, we didn't speak for a couple weeks, and then I felt the pain. And then I felt the itching. I owe it to Share VD.
In this day and age, the working individual doesn't have time to wow and court someone. That's why I use Share VD. We met, now I can't get them or their VD off my mind. Anyone got a comb?
That's right. And you can have your own Valentine's Day story, too. So what are you waiting for? Dive in and share VD today.
Share VD is not affiliated with Valentine's Day. It's just a coincidence. If you contract venereal disease, Share VD and E-Whore-Moany are not responsible for unwanted outcomes or come-outs. Customers who have used Share VD have reported rashes, bumps, pus, leakage, and in most cases, retraction of health insurance. Use Share VD at your discretion.
So, what are you waiting for? Share your Valentine's Day with Share VD.
There it is.
And there it is from There's a Better App.
There is.
How
There
come you
must
didn't? How
be.
come you didn't review that one?
I think the
It's in development,
testimonials
right?
are. I think the testimonials from the beta are. That's good enough.
All right, fair enough.
That's good enough to know.
It's in development.
Oh my God. Well, keeping with that, with that in mind,
That theme.
that theme. Speaking of theme, yeah. Well, we're gonna go ahead and take a little break, if you will. And where the hell is my thing here to actually get the break going on? Oh my
Break
God.
that break.
This is what happens when you're not set up. You did ask me earlier if we were ready, and I said yes.
Oh, I asked.
Somebody asked.
It was me. I did.
I failed.
And then she got up to go to the bathroom right as we start.
That's true. And I hit the record button. I'm like, okay, I guess we're not starting. So
See you on the flippity flop.
flippity floppity floop. We'll be right back. Welcome back to the second half of There Is a Better podcast. My name is Tony, and we got on my left this time,
Sarah.
and on my right,
I'm D'Lo.
D'Lo and Sarah. And again, today our words are
Inamorata.
Inamorata,
Inamorato.
Inamorato. One is the female's lover, and another is a male's lover. No, person's female lover,
Wait.
then a person's
Which was
male lover.
which was which again?
So the first one is Inamorata, or no, I'm sorry, Inamorato. Whew, hello.
Hello.
Inamorata. This is a person's female lover.
Inamorata.
Akuna Matata.
I always think of, like it's
Inamorato.
A, so it's the feminine. O, so it's the masculine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ah.
I don't think about that.
Inamorato.
Have you taken a language?
Been
Inamorata.
ages,
It's
but
been
yeah.
ages. Okay. Well,
French.
Français.
Spanish?
Rosway.
Even Spanish? Yeah.
Still working on the Balvenie here. And again, I do
I took
recommend.
French.
Oh, man, mine's gone.
You want some more?
I have ice.
Ice.
I always joke
ice,
about the fact
baby.
that the only thing I remember about French class was je ne sais pas,
Je ne sais quoi?
which means
Je
no,
ne
je ne
sais
sais
pas.
pas,
Oh.
which means I don't know.
Donde
I-
está el baño?
Je ne sais
Where
pas.
is the
Where is the
bathroom?
Français.
Le fromage, something. The cheese is old and moldy. which is from the movie Encino Man. But I heard that if you pull it up on Disney Plus, it's renamed, and it's renamed something really stupid.
They don't, like, the movie isn't called Encino Man?
It's not called Encino Man. If you look it up on Disney Plus,
what's it called?
It's been renamed.
Dun, dun, dun.
I'll give you 3 guesses. I'll give you 3 guesses each.
Pauly Shore is a dumbass.
That might have been a better title, but you're wrong.
Gonna be honest, I haven't even watched the movie ever in my entire life, so I don't even know what you're talking about.
Encino Man, Pauly Shore. So,
I remember the title. I don't watch it.
It's fine.
Remember
okay,
it.
so D-Lo's out.
That's fine.
The movie has been retitled as California Man.
Now, why did they rename it?
Did they just think Encino was too difficult for people to know that it was in California?
That's probably it. That's
So
probably
it was-
exactly it.
Too specific.
Too specific.
Too specific. Oh,
But,
okay.
you know, I mean, it was it was described in the movie.
Californians.
No, is this,
What did they
do
call that?
do I vaguely remember this? It was about a caveman or something?
It was about a
Oh, okay.
caveman. Brendan
Yeah.
Fraser was a caveman. And
Okay, I vaguely remember.
So
sure, it was a
Pauly,
pile of shit.
was it Pauly Shore or was it, I don't know,
So
one of the...
you're saying you're not a fan?
One of the characters, their family wanted to build a pool, and
Is
so they
anybody
were.
a fan today?
No, I mean, you know.
I mean, at the time.
You can be a fan of the show, and how do you be a fan of the show? We didn't cover this, and I'm terribly sorry. How do you be a fan of the show? What do you do to engage with us on Twitter, D-Lo?
You can always catch us on Twitter by going to There's a Better the number 1.
Sarah, what about Instagram?
There is a better podcast. It could not be simpler.
Couldn't be simpler, unless it was a shorter word. And you can always email us. There is a better podcast at gmail.com. I wanted to get that in because I didn't get that in the beginning of the show. We have a show plan, and that's like at the beginning. It's in bold for
It's at the
crying
top.
out loud.
It's right at the top.
And Tony cannot seem to get that right.
You could have eaten up like 2 minutes by... No, I'm just kidding.
That's probably true.
Inamorado.
So we're back on the Valentine's Day episode. We're talking about now first date horror stories. So I think all of us here have some sort of story about a date. Doesn't have to necessarily be the first date, but probably something that happened while you were on a date, whether it was your doing, your date's doing, or something that just happened like in the background that kind of made it a bad date.
Okay.
Anybody? I mean, if you're willing to share, if something comes up right off the top of your head, feel free, chime in. We've got a couple here from BuzzFeed as well.
Ooh.
Yeah.
All right. I'll just share that my first date was I got picked up in a van
Down by the river.
This is sounding great already.
It was a windowless van.
I got yes,
and they had ice cream.
It was a windowless van.
Oh my god.
And number one, I'm sitting on the curb, and my date pulls up in a van.
You actually were sitting on the curb.
I was
like
sitting on the curb, like
service.
curbside
Nice.
waiting. Yeah, because
With
we didn't have cell phones back then. This was a long time ago.
So you're
So
sitting
I
on
was
the
like,
curb.
I don't know when it was happening. I don't know when they were coming. I knew it was going to be a friend was driving a vehicle, and I was like, okay, I don't know what I'm looking for. I know who I'm looking for.
Yeah.
I think, and then I don't know what they're going to be pulling up in. So I'm just sitting there. It's kind of it's summer, chilling. The van pulls up. The door slides open.
Smoke rolls out.
It probably could have been. I got
Like
in.
the mystery machine.
The door slammed.
It was Scooby-Doo who was picking you up.
Yeah, it was. We were there to solve mysteries, and we made it. We were gonna all go bowling. There was probably about 5 of us. We were all gonna go bowling. We didn't even get a third of the way there.
Oh.
The van broke down because the engine seized.
Oh no!
Wow.
Yeah, we managed to get off to the side of the road. Someone had a deck of cards. We started playing euchre. My date ended
Did you know
up-
how to play euchre at that time?
Yeah, of
So
course.
if you're
I'm
not from the
Michigan.
if you're not from the Midwest or
Come
Michigan for that
on.
matter, it's a very Michigan-esque game.
Yeah, look it up. It's a
yeah,
great
look
time.
it. It's really fun.
It's actually
There's some
a great
apps out there too.
Yeah.
Not dating apps, but just
No, there's
euchre
yeah,
apps.
yeah, euchre apps. So yeah.
Not to be confused with Bob Euchre.
No.
No.
He wasn't in the van with us.
Oh really?
No.
That would have been fun.
Would it? I don't know.
Probably not for you.
Not really. No. So anyway, we ended up playing euchre on the side of the road. My date went over across the street to use the phone because again,
No cell phones.
No cell phones.
Not that time.
And called to have some adult come and rescue us. So never made it to the bowling alley. We made it to the friend's house because they had to take the vehicle back. And it turned out that the vehicle's oil had not been changed in
That's what I
something
was
like
wondering.
2
Yeah.
years.
Yeah, it's going to cease. That's gonna happen.
I was
Okay.
like, dude, you irresponsible people.
So to the listeners, maintenance on your automobile
Basic
is
maintenance.
paramount. Unless you own a Toyota, then it doesn't matter.
You think so?
Maybe. I don't know.
Oh,
you
do they
have
go
one.
long? They
I
kind
do
of
have
go a little
one.
longer?
I do get the oil change because I'm not stupid.
I think this was, I was like 17, so they were probably like 17. Yeah. But the parents should have known. Anyway.
Yeah, well,
Yeah.
yeah,
So
stupid.
that was,
Parents just don't understand. Will Smith got it right.
I'm telling you.
And if you don't know what I'm talking about, look that up too.
Look that up too.
Parents just don't understand.
There you go.
Oh man. Any dating horror stories? So well, you made
Or
it out
exciting
alive.
stories. Oh,
Did you have another
Well,
date
so-
after that?
yeah, we ended up getting married. So,
that's your husband.
Oh,
okay.
wow.
yeah, that was our first date. But the impression that was left on my mother was
Oh God.
a van drove up. The door flew open. You got in and you were gone. I didn't know. Again, no cell phone. I didn't know where you went. So yeah,
That's classic.
it was an experience.
I can't necessarily say this was a first date, but this girl that I knew back in high school, she and I, we kind of toyed around with the idea of being something, but not quite.
Sure.
This is like early high school.
Oh yeah.
And so she was house sitting for a friend of hers, and her friend's parents rather had a beautiful house, and it was on the lake. I mean, it was like through the windows. Their back window, or the back of the house that faced the lake, was all glass. It was all glass, so all you saw was lake. It was incredible, and the lake was sparkling, and it was crystal clear that night. And I was supposed to go and help her with her homework. You know how that worked. You know how that happens in high school.
You're an A student.
Hardly.
You're a tutor. You're in a tutor capacity,
Well,
sir.
fortunately, I didn't have any Taco Bell that night, so no tutoring.
Wow.
Do you have a rim shot on there somewhere? It's too late for
I
that.
think it's too.
So I can't.
That's
that'll
as close as I
Okay,
get.
true
Okay.
thing. And so I went over, and I was going to help her with her homework, and then we got a little comfy on the couch, and then she proceeded to climb up on me, and I was seated, and then we started making out, and then I revealed some things that I had never seen before in person, and at that moment, I totally blew it.
Oh, like really blew it?
Yes, really blew it.
I don't have that.
Wah, wah.
Yeah, we need one of those.
There we go.
That works.
That's the best I
That
got.
works.
Yeah.
That works.
And that was, I don't even know how far into the night that was. It wasn't that far into the night. And after that, I was like, okay, I gotta recollect myself and get the fuck out of here and pretend this didn't happen. And then I come home, and so when I came home, I opened the door. It was like 9:30 on a weekend. 9:30 at night on a weekend. It was either Friday or Saturday. Excuse me. And my mom is sitting on the couch. The living room is like right next to the door, so I'm coming into the door. And she's sitting there. I'm pulling my shirt down as far as it can go to hide any of my shame. She's like, "How'd it go, honey?" "It's fine." "You want to watch TV?" "No, I'm going to go to bed." "Good night." "Are you sure?" And I'm walking away. "Yeah, I'll be fine. Good night." Yeah, that was kind of a horror story.
Yeah, you had to
for
hide it with
me.
your shirt?
Is the washer
Was
open?
that big of
Is
a
the
mess?
washer open?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Is the washer open?
I guess you were probably packing quite a bit in there. So.
Well, you know,
As a young person.
Yeah, well, yeah.
This is
as a young
probably
person. Yeah.
like, 10th, 11th grade, something like that, probably.
Yeah, I think it was 9th or 10th grade. Yeah.
I have sons, and this is just like, I'm just banking these stories of horror.
Oh, God.
Like, great. Can't
Well,
fucking
you know
wait.
what to look forward to.
I was
Great.
to say, if they walk in with their shirt down, you know what's going on.
what's
I
going
got their
on.
number
Gotta pull
already.
down, yeah.
I got their number already. Yeah.
Oh, boy.
God damn.
Anything you'd like to share, D'Lo?
Maybe not to that detail.
I didn't really have much
Is the
time
washer
to
open?
give this thought because this is I just
Totally
haven't had
off the top
time
of your head. That's
to
fine.
find out that this was happening.
I like off the cuff.
I guess the only thing I can
Yeah.
think of is the one story. I mean, I know I've had bad days. I just can't think of anything. The one that I can think of was
that they ran out of gazpacho.
one that I already recapped on a previous episode of There Is a Better Podcast. And So I don't know if I want to go into it, but I'll make it quick and brief. It was wintertime, and yes, I picked up my date in a van.
Hey.
Now mine did have
I remember
windows.
this now.
And you did change the oil regularly.
I did change the oil.
And I mean that in more than one way. No.
However, I did have curtains, and I had carpet on the ceiling and the walls.
You had carpet
and a bed that folded
on
down.
the ceiling.
Yeah. It was pretty.
Were you
all right.
solving mysteries, or were you creating mysteries?
Probably a little bit of both. I took her out.
May I ask what color the carpet was?
I don't even. It was like a
like a burnt orange.
I don't want to call it. I don't want to say it was shag, but it was longer carpet.
What color?
No, it was like a off. What would you call off white? So it wasn't white.
Cream.
It was like white.
I'm sure there was a lot of cream
black,
in that van.
Black specks, I guess, is what you'd call it.
You might want to see a doctor.
Really setting the
then if
scene.
you got-
Blue curtains.
Blue curtains.
Yeah, blue curtains.
Wow.
White van with a pinstripe that went, because I bought it from my grandparents.
Okay.
And it had this pinstripe on it that my grandma really, really wanted a pinstripe up on this van, okay?
Oh, that's...
My grandpa says, okay, I'll do it.
Get the pinstripe.
Oh, look at the
But
love.
he had already been quite a few drinks in.
When he agreed to the pinstripe?
When he went to put the
No.
pinstripe on.
Oh, he put it on?
He put it on,
for
he
her.
put it on drunk.
Yeah. So
This is totally Valentine's. I love it.
It went along the van from the back to the front, and then the idea was it was supposed to kind of go at a 45-degree angle and go over the hood, but he put it perpendicular, so it went to a 90-degree angle.
Was she like, oh, honey?
No, she was not a happy camper.
She was not happy?
She's like, why the hell are you drinking when you're doing that? So anyway, I had bought this, or I took this girl out, and we went to a local theater, watched a movie, did the usual dinner and date thing, and then driving back, I could tell she wasn't really into me at that point. I mean, I was really weird, and still am to this day, but really weird back then.
Since when did you become weird?
And it was one of these things where it was really like it was snowing out quite a bit, and the roads were icy. And I got this wrong the last time when I talked about this. It was a rear wheel drive.
Okay.
Oh, yeah. Yep.
Which is just terrible to drive in the
I was
snow.
going to say it sounds very dangerous.
And I don't remember
Sounds perfect.
why, but I was singing Gilligan's Island at the time. Okay, yeah, I don't know.
Was it like a calming thing as you drive in these conditions?
I don't particularly know. I don't remember. All I remember was I was singing Gilligan's Island.
Okay.
Hit a patch of ice, and the van did a 360 into the snowbank, and I continued to sing Gilligan's Island through the whole damn thing. And hit the snowbank. The whole van tilted, I don't know, maybe 30, 40 degrees over towards like falling into the snow.
Whoa.
And then eased back. And I go, well, that was interesting. And just drove on.
Well, what else are you going to do? You made it.
I never got a second date with her.
Her loss.
But I wouldn't call it a horror story. I thought it was kind of fun, actually, really.
It sounds like you had a blast.
I did.
Hey, so did I.
You're like, you're like, let's see what this bitch can do.
I'm going to pull us off. And I don't know what my deal with that is, too, because I'm going to pull us off of topic here a little bit. But
do it.
I had another time. I used to drive around the state and do what you'd call gigs, and not as a musician. Actually, I can talk about that. A DJ. I was a DJ.
Okay, you're a DJ.
I DJ.
D-Lo DJ.
I got done DJing this wedding, and I hopped onto the expressway. It had been snowing really bad. Was really icy, and I picked up a Mountain Dew and a Hostess.
Which
pie.
one?
Hostess
a
pie, cherry pie.
Cherry pies are good
right.
too. I like the cupcakes.
From the gas station before I hit the road.
Yeah.
And as I'm driving down the road, I'm opening up my cherry pie, looking forward to this because I hadn't ate all day.
And you had Warrant going on with cherry pie over the stereo.
Oh, is this the same vehicle?
And no.
okay.
This is like no.
This is the Ford Bronco.
This is just me on my own.
It's a white Ford Bronco
with a bunch of DJ gear. No,
right,
actually, at the time I drove a Thunderbird. A Ford Thunderbird, and I packed all of my DJ gear in this all the time. It was ridiculous.
the trunk on that
because those aren't that.
thing.
No, those
There's a lot of
aren't
junk
that
in that
big.
trunk.
So anyway, I ended up.
And Devo's not a big guy.
I hit this expressway. I'm getting onto the on ramp, and just as I get onto the expressway, ooh, that was a little.
I like your.
I did not want that
I
much.
like your ambition.
Your moxie.
Just as I hit the highway, there's a deer standing right in the middle of the road. And I hit this patch of ice, and again did this whole 360. And the full time that I'm doing this, I'm trying to eat this cherry pie, and it went all the way around.
Yeah.
Came back around, and I still had my cherry. Like I did the whole, turned the whole car with my right hand.
Oh my God.
And still held on to
and
the cherry
pie is still standing.
I went, God, that was scary. And then they ate my cherry pie. I mean, I don't know it's really weird. Like in really tense situations like that, I just seem to just stay.
I was just gonna say
in the zone, I guess is the way to put it. But yeah,
there's a level of calmness inside of you that's like you don't get
that
rattled.
Would make sense.
It doesn't. Freak
It's like,
me out.
well, this is happening.
Yeah, and you just go with it. Yeah,
That's what I've learned about you. I don't know you that well, but that's what I've learned about you. It's like you're just kind of, oh well, this is happening now.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I'm gonna enjoy this cherry pie in a hot second. So. And in the meantime, I'm going to do this whole thing with my one. You said your right hand?
Yes.
Okay, so
That's
you had the
usually how he
left
does it.
hand, the
So
cherry pie.
So yeah, I seriously had the cherry pie in my left hand.
Because you're dominant
steering with the road,
your right.
and I was
Sure.
just getting ready to bite into this cherry pie. I just opened it up, and the deer's standing all of a sudden right in the middle
Deer's
of
like,
the
you ain't having that
expressway.
cherry pie.
And
Yeah.
I was like, oh. but it was one of those things where I was
deer.
like, I managed to hold on to that cherry pie the whole
for
time.
you.
Didn't squish it.
That's what I would have done.
Wow.
I would have thrown
So-
that fucker in the back seat. I would have been screaming, and I would have been like, no fucking deer.
I would
Yeah.
have thrown it up, and then hopefully that when spinning the car, it would have come right back to me.
Oh,
right?
Yeah.
Physics.
Physics.
I don't know. Tony's got a lot of dates with deers.
I
You have a lot of car deer dates.
Have you hit many deer?
Have you met him? He's a deer magnet.
I've killed many a car with a deer.
Have you hit one since I've known you?
You know what? Actually, I might have been deer free since, but now that you say that, I guess I'm looking forward to a new car.
We're all knocking on whatever the fuck this
This
table
is for
is made out
mica
of.
countertop or something. I don't know.
I don't know.
I've been fortunate. I have not actually managed to hit a deer.
And that's the thing in Michigan, like for sure. You're
Oh,
guaranteed.
constantly. Yeah.
You're
I
guaranteed
mean,
to
I've
have a
definitely
run-in.
had close calls.
Oh,
For sure.
clearly,
For
you
sure.
just told us one, and you almost ruined an 89-cent cherry pie.
Even this year, I think I've had 2 or 3
It's
close
my
calls.
89-cent cherry
You
pie.
almost ruined your 89-cent
Put a
cherry
smile
pie.
Have you
on your
hit a deer?
face, 10 miles wide.
I think he's met the quota for all of
us.
everybody.
For us,
Okay.
anyway.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I have not.
My favorite one was I was coming back from.
Wait, are you saying your favorite deer you hit?
Yeah,
Oh
my
my
favorite scenario.
God.
So it was after Christmas. I was coming back home. It was a long drive, and I had my girlfriend at the time on the right. She was in the passenger, and she was the passenger side, and we were coming back home. This is like from way up north, probably about 2.5 hours away. Anyway, and I was in the left lane. And the car I was driving at the time, it was a Pontiac Bonneville. It was a 1990 Bonneville. Look that up. It is a tank. It is a tank. And it had the 3800 GM engine, which was one of the greatest engines ever made. Look that up too. This is pertinent. So I was going to get move over to the right lane, and I looked over at her, and then I looked over to the other lane to see if there were any cars over. And then I looked back at her, and then all of a sudden, I looked back going straight forward, and I saw directly into the eyes of the deer that was standing right in front of me no more than a quarter of a second later. Just this massive
Hot mic.
everything just shot up all over the glass, like over the glass. The deer went right into the middle of the car, so it dented into the front of the car, and then it went under, and like stuff was just splurting out everywhere. I'm talking
That sounds like traumatic.
Oil and fluids and just everything all over the place. And I look back at my girlfriend and like, oh shit. And that's all I said. Like, oh shit. So
What
we
could you
pulled off
say?
to this right. Yeah. So we pulled off to the side, and the engine's still running.
Wow.
I mean, it's this like,
Takes
probably
a ticket, or takes a, what is it? Takes a
licking and keeps on ticking.
Keeps on ticking. That's the thing.
It's a couple 100-pound deer just slamming it like 75 miles an hour.
Well, let me ask you this.
Yes.
Because you've hit more than one.
Yes.
Do you find that what they say about like when you come across a deer and it's coming in front of you to just keep going straight because swerving might result in worse damage or worse outcome?
Good question. And sometimes deer are smart enough, they're not, to try and avoid. So like if you're trying to swerve out of the way, they might actually get into it.
Yeah.
I have a theory about this. And I'll be very quick with it. If you have fog lights, turn them on because the height of the highway is higher than where the deer are.
That's why I keep mine on all the time. Yeah.
And their eye level is level with the fog lights. So they won't charge at it because they don't think it's something that's above them. When they get onto the highway, then they realize, oh shit, I made a mistake. It's too late. But that's my theory. I don't know if it's 100% true.
I've heard the same thing, and that's actually why I keep my fog lights on. Have you guys ever hit a bird?
No.
Yes.
A
crane of all fucking things. A crane.
Where were you in like Pennsylvania? What?
It actually was on a street called Pennsylvania. Yeah, and I was much younger.
I think the list would be shorter if we asked Tony what he hasn't hit.
Right.
I was going to say Wolverines, but no. Being a Spartan, you gotta run over Wolverines.
Oh well, good luck finding one. All right.
Me and my it was my girlfriend at the time. We were heading up north, going to a cabin, and this was just like.
Was it Clementine?
No. I don't even know what you're asking there.
In a cabin.
Oh, gotcha.
Yeah. Wow.
That was big reference.
Enough.
So anyway, we were driving up, and she's an animal lover.
I'm gonna have more.
And it was one of these things where it was really foggy out, and there was this point where all of a sudden we saw this bird fly like right in front of us, and she freaked out. I'm like, just pull over. We'll take a look. She's like, I know I hit it. I'm like, there's no way you hit it. It had to have, if nothing else, it bounced off. It's fine. It's good. We pull into this gas station, and you could see people laughing and pointing at the car. So you knew something happened. I get out, and across the grill with its wings still out.
Oh my God.
Had to be like this 3-foot owl. Just like smashed into the grill of this car.
So
did you try and
very
spare her by
wise.
saying, you know what, just stay in the car?
I actually did tell her that, but she got out and
was traumatized.
Yeah, it was sad.
Yeah,
but,
that's too
yeah,
bad.
and it bummed because I like owls, and it was just
for sure.
Yeah, that's sad.
Owls are awesome.
Who was that?
That's a crane. So a crane, an owl, a deer,
and many more.
We should have a bingo card.
Oh, that's a good idea.
But again, I did not hit that, so you know.
Yeah.
And I'm not talking about the girl that I was dating. I'm talking about the owl.
I understood that. I totally understood that.
I don't even know if we need to go into these to these first date horror stories. We pretty much covered some pretty good ones right here with all of us.
You know, it's up to you. I don't know.
I'll read a couple here from BuzzFeed. This is called The Mismatch. In college, a guy in my class asked if I wanted to go to a soccer match. We got to the field, and I quickly realized that we were there to watch children's soccer. He took me to his little sister's match. We sat with his dad and stepmom, and I had to make awkward conversations with them. After the game, his little sister asked if I was his girlfriend. He answered, yes. At the exact moment I answered,
no.
That was our first and only date. Ooh.
Talk about moving fast.
Yeah, like who in their right mind would say like, "Hi, I just met you. Let's go visit my parents." That's not a romantic date at all.
Well, and not only that, but I'm going to take you to something that doesn't cost anything, and we're just going to sit and watch my family.
Well, now I
just think that's odd.
I was going to say I've had the situation come up where I was dating a girl. Was not ready for her to meet my family and ended up stumbling across my family.
Oh, that's awkward.
Yeah, it was all the way around. I was just like,
too soon.
And by the time I'm done, my mom and her are drinking. I'm like, come on. No, I didn't want this.
Oh, they got along
Yeah, they got along
really well.
And it was one of those times where I was like, I'm not at that level. I don't really want
This is
too much.
nice. You guys are friends now.
Yeah.
That's great.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What's your Twitter handle? Okay.
All right.
I'll just follow you from here on out. Oh, wait, that goes back to that Happen dating app.
Right.
Well, you're talking about going to do stuff that's free, but actually one of my first dates it was a really good first
not only
date.
free, but just free, like and with family.
Okay,
it's to see
that
a
is weird.
family thing.
That is
like that is
different. That's
odd.
weird.
I don't mean. I'm not saying it in a way like you can't do things that are free that are fun. I don't mean it that way. I just mean like you're taking someone to a family thing. And it's not at any expense to you. It's just so you're not like investing anything.
Sure.
Well, you're emotionally investing that.
And I don't want to say
one more so than the other.
I don't want to say
There's
it's
totally
unspoken.
things you can do that are free, that are fun, and that's cool. I'm
Because
not
it's
saying
well
that.
known that you don't take them to see your
is your
family until there's a certain point.
Yeah, at least the
Where
third
you're
date.
like, God, I feel somewhat serious about this.
Right.
Yeah.
Your profile really led me to believe we're just. This AI told me we're
two
it.
peas in a pod.
We're 2 peas in a pod. Okay.
But yeah, that's like one of my first dates that I probably one of my favorite first dates actually was. So we met at a coffee shop. We didn't get anything. We just met at a coffee shop in public, and then we started walking around. There's a
Better podcast.
Yes, there's a Better podcast.
Downtown
there's a
area?
Big Ten University nearby.
Okay.
It was Michigan State, and they have this really nice garden. So we started walking around the garden. It was like late in the evening, and then there's like this little children's garden, which is really
Is it
cute.
botanical or children's?
Yeah, yeah,
Okay.
And they had this little maze that is based on Alice in Wonderland. So like they had this little maze, and so we were like pretending that we were bunnies, and we were just hopping along, and that was really cute. And then we went up, and then we both climbed up into a tree.
Lost it.
We both climbed up into a tree, and we started talking about
You climbed up in a tree?
We climbed up into a tree, and we both were talking about like future things that we
Life.
wanted. Yeah. Like, where do you see yourself in the future? Where do you see yourself? And blah, 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 blah.
Philosophizing.
And then Tony goes, "Do you want to meet my parents?"
They're right over there in that other tree.
Oh no, they were
They're
the
the
flowers.
people. They're the people who take care of this garden.
They were tiptoeing through the tulips.
They're the bunnies.
They're botanical bitches.
They take care of the space.
But what was really cool about it too is that we were walking back, and we stopped along a practice football field, and we just sat for a little bit, talked a little bit more, and then this light rain started coming on to us, and it was very
Yeah.
it was romantic.
Yeah.
Nothing else happened after that. I walked her to her car, and that was the end of the date. And she actually told me, like, if you were to have kissed me that night, that would have been it. It would have been over.
And you didn't.
I didn't.
You chickened out. You bitched out.
No.
Oh,
She
right.
said it would have been over.
Oh, it would have been over. You pushed
If I
too
did.
far.
Right. So,
Okay.
but I didn't. And that's
Okay.
well, I mean, it was a blessing and a curse to have done that, because it worked out that it wasn't going to work out. 8 or 9 years later, Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints.
Here we are.
Here we are.
Doing a podcast in your basement.
You want to hear some juicy drama?
Dude.
No.
I met up with a guy to go out for wings. Before we even ate, he looked me up and down, grabbed my hand as he was going to kiss it, and then licked from the tip of my wrist to the tip of my finger.
Okay, so first of all, I was examining what was on my computer, so I wasn't even looking at you and realizing you were reading. So I thought you were going into a story about you,
Oh.
No.
which made this even more interesting for me.
I might be the kind of
I'm
person.
not gonna lie.
I might be the kind of person to do that, but it's only with somebody who I know and who knows my sense of humor.
All right, recap that story for me again, because I was not paying attention.
I met up with a guy. To go out.
I want you to picture
Really caught you off guard.
because I'm paying attention.
No, I
now.
heard you, and I was like,
Now
wow,
I
to
want-
hear it that way would be
Yeah, now I want you to picture
something.
Tony going through this. Go ahead.
I met up with a guy. First of all, already
I have
off
to?
to a great start to go out for wings.
Well, you meet up with guys. I mean,
Yeah.
you
Well,
got
that's what I'm saying. Off to a great start.
bras.
Bruh. What up, bruh?
Brah, let's get some wings, brah.
Brr. Before we even ate, he looked me up and down, grabbed my hand as though he was going to kiss it, and then licked it from the tip of my wrist to the tip of my finger.
Wow.
To which
Now, did you picture Tony that time?
No.
yeah, it was disgusting. But
Well,
also,
anything to do with Tony is disgusting.
No, that's
so,
not what I
it's-
mean. Like, it's a disgusting thing to think about. Like, it's just gross.
But my mind seriously was in Tony
I
mode.
hear you.
Okay. All right, go.
when you said it, I heard
Tony
you. I was like,
mode.
oh, you poor man.
Yeah,
poor man.
Tony mode.
So she simply says,
Well, I'm out of here, and walked straight out the door to my car and sanitized my hands.
I'd say that was a good move on her part. Yeah. Wow. Ugh.
Yep.
at least wait for like the wing sauce to be on your hands.
Oh, they didn't even go.
to
They
lick
didn't
that
even
off.
get
I mean,
there.
geez.
They didn't even
I'm
get
just
there.
kidding. That's
They didn't even
altogether
get there.
disgusting.
Ah, that's
Ugh.
horrible.
Too much.
I think that's good enough for
Yeah,
today.
see, I've never had a horror story like any of that. Nothing ever that bad.
Well, maybe you should.
I don't think I need it.
Do you got something going on this Valentine's Day tonight? You should go on Happen and then just find somebody in at the
Stalk
supermarket.
somebody.
Yeah, just find somebody at the supermarket and like them right at their when they're at the meat aisle.
Yeah.
Because handling raw meats improves your sex life, and that's what I understand.
So can I read one more of these BuzzFeeds?
Yes, please do.
Okay, I'm going to read it from. This is a woman talking about her experience. This is not my personal experience.
Got it.
Understood.
I'm paying attention. I am paying attention.
Good listener.
Good,
Hey,
good to
listeners.
tell D-Lo that.
Yeah, I'm paying attention now.
We're going to have like a handful of listeners.
Yeah.
I met up with this guy to see a movie, and we got there really early. So he made me hold $20 worth of tokens while he played arcade games. It gets better.
Oh no.
This is not my
How much
this is
better
not my
could it
story.
get?
This is not my story.
Oh no.
Then he said he had invited his dad
Oh.
to join us for the movie because he had been estranged. They had been estranged from one another until recently. Okay.
Yeah.
Oh,
Oh.
the
it
dad showed up
continues.
and he was totally surprised to see me there.
Oh no.
We all went into the theater and his dad ended up sitting in the row behind us. It was awkward as
Wow.
So what? He's like just being the chaperone. all of a
a
sudden.
bit. I think he was trying to remove himself from the situation. I mean, that sounds like the dad didn't want to be there either.
Yeah. Well,
Like,
he
we're
might as well just
estranged,
stay
we've
estranged.
reconnected. Why are you bringing me into this date that you're on?
That's
Is this like a
fucked
proud
up.
moment? Like, oh, look, my son's dating. How great. I'm going to be a part of this. And also, yeah, bro, here, hold my $20 worth of tokens so I can play arcade games. You know, I'm
sharing
just
is
going to say
caring,
it
but-
right off the top. Every girl loves to watch their man play video games.
Do they?
Oh, yeah, for
Do they
hours.
really?
Yeah, for hours. Yeah, it's real.
God.
Okay, that's all.
Oh man. I think I'll try that next time.
Oh,
No, I won't.
don't.
At least give her some tokens.
Yes!
I'm just saying.
Share the tokens, play the games together. What the hell are you thinking?
That's a good point.
Agreed.
I've actually done that.
And that's
so
fine.
I've gone to,
Go to an arcade.
I've gone
But
to
if
an
you're-
arcade. And,
Absolutely.
Right.
Yeah.
That
If
can
you're,
be
if you're
fun.
sharing.
In fact, I
It's
will
equal.
actually change what I'm playing just so that whoever I'm hanging out with actually gets to play.
Yeah, play a two-player.
Yeah.
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 Yeah, because we've gone to an arcade before and you've pumped in quarters for two
Hold
players.
my quarters? What a...
Hold my quarters, bitch.
Douchebag.
All right.
That's not gonna fly. What a douchebag.
Hey, Dad. Hey, Dad.
Hey, Dad.
Hey, Dad.
Happy Valentine's Day.
Talking about love. Thank you so much for sticking around.
Go eat some chocolate.
For Sarah, for D-Lo, I am Tony. And hey, by the way, if you want to catch us again, you can find us where? On Twitter
There is a better and the number one.
and on Instagram.
There is a better podcast.
And you can also email us your horror stories or anything else that you'd like to share with us. And if we do share it on the air, let us know if you want it to be
If you want to be shared on the air.
Anonymous.
Yeah, anonymous.
anonymous.
Yeah.
We'll be happy to do that anonymously. If your name is Greg, we'll call you Gary. If your name is Gary, we'll call you Greg.
Greg.
Or we just won't call you.
Or we just won't call you. My name's
You're
Tony.
not going to get a second date with that attitude.
Yeah. Fuck that shit.
That's exactly the plan.
Okay.
Thanks for sticking around. And again, it is the show that likes to put a little bit of humor into your day. Love us, like us, hate us. Hey, we're living proof that there is
a better podcast.
We'll see you next week.